Was fortunate enough to spend dinner with a CRO of a publicly traded company. And I was asking her, are you using an AI SDR? And she said, yes, I am. And I said, how's it going? And she said, you would not believe the amount of pipeline we've been able to generate with an AI SDR. And I asked her, how long have you been using it? And she said, 9 months, and it's great. And then I asked her, how much business have you closed? And she said, 0. So it's not to say that AI won't work. It's to say many of us do not know how to use AI. Thank you very much. Pleasure to be with you all today. Thank you very much for coming. It's been about 17 years since I started as a venture capitalist. And in that time, I've been fortunate to work in the world of software. There's been a tremendous transformation. When Mark Benioff started Salesforce, he codified the sales playbook, and he talks about it in his book, where there are 115 plays that he run. Mark Roberge, who was the CRO at HubSpot, he then wrote the next book, The Sales Acceleration Formula, which shared deep insights into the quota structures and the evolution of that organization as it went through a high churn model to a low churn model. And in the subsequent 10 years since then, we in the software world have instrumented and optimized and measured every little bit about the way that we sell software. But today it's all different. And it's all different because the kinds of software that we sell isn't the same. It's not predictable. With Salesforce, if I update a lead from a prospect to a closed lost, it will work the same way every time. But if I use ChatGPT or OpenAI or a call recording software to determine what's going on with a lead or customer prospect, state-of-the-art says it'll work somewhere between 80 to 85% of the time. That has radical implications for the way that people buy software. To give you a sense of this, at Theory, we host events with different software buyers. 6 months ago, we were asking them, what is the number one prohibition, the thing that inhibits you from buying AI? 6 months ago, the answer was security. Today, it's ROI. People are struggling to find exactly the value that AI systems are building. This change is happening within a macroeconomic backdrop of significant inflation. So, as we were looking at this inflation, I wrote a blog post about 2 years ago where I said I would expect software companies' quotas to increase at the rate of inflation. If inflation is going up 4% per year, if the cost of bread is increasing, shouldn't sales quotas, shouldn't sell software. What we've seen in the last 6 or 7 months, most notably with Klarna now cutting Salesforce and other major software products as a way of reducing costs, is in fact the opposite. There's been a real compression in the use of overall software, AI notwithstanding. As part of that, AI has ushered in a new era of building, or at least thinking about how to build software companies. I was chatting with this former CEO of a publicly traded CRM company, and I asked him, what do you think happens to sales development rep counts over the next 12 to 24 months? And he said, I think 2/3 of them are out of a job. The entire fundamental unit, the AE plus SCR plus CSM, does that model change? These are big and important questions that we don't really yet have the answers to. We're in the midst of this transition. We hosted an event 2 days ago with the CRO of Hebia, which is a unicorn AI business. And he was previously at Scale.ai, which is another AI unicorn. And we had 3 founders on stage. We asked them, how are you learning to sell in this new ecosystem? And there were lots of different answers. Some companies were sales-led, some were product-led. Some companies were selling value, some companies were selling seats, some had matrix hybrid business models. And the answer is we're figuring it out. The playbook that we've built over the last 20 years basically no longer applies.